Here's the. Allow us out of here. Started. Before we start on the agenda for this evening, is there anyone in the audience that would like to address this board on something that is not on the agenda this evening?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Hey, all of you would come up and state your name.
Okay. Bad angle. Okay. I'm Al Barbagello. This is my son Daniel. Been in the restaurant business for 54 years. This July will be 54 years. And my son Danny has been taking over gradually. And eventually he'll be the one, hopefully running it, if we can stay in business. And that's why I'm here tonight. I don't expect you to do anything tonight. I expect conversation though. and at least maybe a little understanding why I'm here. And maybe I have a right to be here because of what happened. I wrote it all down, but I want to kind of go off my cuff. I just use this as notes. But I'm here to find out if the board has any idea of what happened with our county taxes this January. Let me know.
Are you specifically about the county or
Well,
the fire?
My county taxes for my business is $27,000. They went from 27,000 to 40,000 plus. If you figure it out mathematically, it's almost a 50% increase. Well, I've been in business a long time. Nothing goes up 50%. I mean, that was unheard of. Now, I gotta say that if I felt it was justified to go up, then I wouldn't be standing here. But I'll give you some facts. Number one, we've been there 54 years. And we have never, and I will say thank God, we've never had a fire. We've never had a fire truck come to our restaurant because they had to put out a fire. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm saying that, our taxes, our line tax for fire prior to this January was $2,200. It is now over $10,000. So we went up about $8,000 on our fire coverage in the town of DeWitt to a place that looks at it and say, why am I paying this? We've never even had them come here. Now, we built a hotel 10 years ago, and we have had the fire department come there over the 10 years, maybe 4 or 5 times, maybe at the most. I don't know, somewhere like that. I mean, that number. And every time, with no exception, it was because somebody pulled the fire alarm. I met a lady and she said that she was there at a wedding and her a little child pulled the fire alarm. And guess what? The fire department had to come. And they didn't know how to turn off the fire alarm. We had to show them. But anyways, my point is this. If it was justified, I'd say, okay, if you really need to go up 350%, and it's justified, well, justification means that it's called for, okay? But personally, and my son also, we see no justification to go up 350%, and I know we're not alone, okay? I know that a whole bunch of other commercial businesses in East or town of DeWitt went up, not all of them. Max, did you say all of them went up?
Yes, across the DeWitt Fire District, yes.
Okay.
Not all the same percentage, but everyone went up, yes.
No, we went up 350%. Here's the way I look at it. I said it to this young lady over here a little while ago. I said, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. I said, you got 9 people here. Would it be right if I needed to raise $9 to go over to Joe here, who's got most of the money in the place, and say, Joe, give me $6, and we're going to get $3 from the rest of the people total? What would you say to that? It's not fair. It's not justified. But if I went to everybody and said, give me $1 each, we need to raise $9. You know what? There's no argument. You need to raise it. You get $1 for everybody. Nobody gets hurt. Nobody stands up in front of 9 people and says, I got cheated. And that's what happens. So for years, I've talked about assessment on houses, assessment in towns. And if the state wants another $1 million from you, instead of going to one area and going up, say, okay, we got 1 million square feet, we'll go up $1 every square foot, we got $1 million. Instead of coming to people like me and going up 350%, why do you think Boreo's closed up and didn't reopen? Why do you think Justin's on Carrier Circle closed up and didn't reopen? Capani's over at Burnett Ave. Cavalieros was a bar in Thompson Road, gone. Park Hill Tavern up in Park Hill there, closed. Nobody took their place. It's not because there's an abundance of customers. It's the fact that the customer base, starting with 20,000 in the early 2000s, have gone. Our biggest Christmas party was General Motors. 600 people. They loved our place. We had them for 2 years and they closed up the place and they're gone. We're never going to replace 5,000 General Motors, 5,000 Chrysler, 7,000 Carrier, 2,000 Tellergy, 1,200 GE. They're never going to be replaced. So why are we still there? Because we don't spend money that we don't have. I don't have a house down in Florida to go down there for 6 months. I've been in business 54 years and I can't afford it. It's time for the town to start getting a little wiser with their money. Now, I know for a fact that Mikulinko, if there was an intelligence test, he probably wouldn't have been our supervisor, but we'll put that aside. He spent $15 million to build a ballpark that's going to be used 2 months out of the year that'll bring in no money. And he tells me, well, and Max even mentioned it to me, it's going to give you business. Well, let me give you some facts and figures. The busiest time of the year in this town for hotels is summertime. It's not going to help us to have those ballparks there. What we need is for them to take that property and develop it and make it into an office park and bring some more income into the town instead of spending 15 million on these ballparks. It's not going to bring us anything except make our taxes go up. Okay, so it's time for the town to start tightening the belts exactly like we have to tighten our belts when we don't have the money. You just can't all of a sudden do a carte blanche. Well, we're going to go to taxes. We need more money. I'm a mom and pop operation. We may be the largest independently owned restaurant and maybe a hotel. Who knows? I don't know how many independently owned hotels are at DeWitt. And we're still there. We're still surviving. And it's not by mistake, God. Number one, guys, it's God, number one. We're a very religious family. But we don't sit down on the couch and wait for God to create miracles. We're out there busting our humps all the time. And we just can't afford this to happen. So I don't know if it's too late. We can't do anything about it. But maybe next year you can lower them and start spreading out the bills to other people and not just to us. And again, 54 years, never had a fire in a restaurant. But I'll tell you what, my neighbor across the street, I don't live here in DeWitt, had 6 fire trucks there at his house at Christmas time because he had a chimney fire. 6 fire trucks. I have no idea what that costs, bring 6 fire trucks out with full crews on every truck. But number one, I don't think they needed 6 trucks, but I'm not a fireman, so I don't know. But my point is, houses may have gotten a break on this money that the fire department had to raise, but they have more need for a fire truck than I have proven over the 54 years. They have more need. We have lightning rods. We don't get hit by lightning. My other neighbor got hit by lightning. Trucks came. They had to rip his ceiling apart. He had his rafter was on fire. And he said, "Hell, you saved my life," because he wasn't on the fire department. I just called him. I says, "You might have a fire in your rafters." And sure enough, he did. The fire department told him if he had stayed, if not called them around 5 a.m, they would have just went poof. So, anyways, guys, more need for houses or as much need. Let's be equal. There's as much need for homes they need a fire department there is for me. So just because I'm a businessman and you think that I'm making a lot of money, it's an untruth. Okay, I don't have a home in Florida. I pay my people well. Got almost 50 employees, but I don't have thousands of dollars to do whatever I want to do with. And maybe that's why I'm here and Boreals isn't. Or maybe that's why Campani's isn't. Or maybe Caballeros and Park Hill Tavern and the Dot and Lenny's and Lincourt Grill. They're all gone. Greg's Restaurant and Justin's Restaurant, a different Justin's, were on Teal Ave years ago. They're gone. Nobody took their place. We're a dying breed. And you guys aren't helping us to survive. You keep going to taxes, we're not going to be there. We're going to be gone. I just came here today to tell you that. So you know that now you're aware. And maybe you can think things out a little bit differently when you give the fire department permission to go up 350% on a mom and pop shop that's worked their butts off for 50+ years to survive. And the last time I was here, I went to bed for sign owners, Joey's Restaurant. There was a whole bunch of us here because the town passed a new regulation that signs couldn't be any higher than 12 feet. Well, my convenience store was 4 years old and my sign was 14 feet high. So I came here with them and I turned out to be the spokesperson for everybody. And I said to them, I said, I've been open 4 years and I come up with the conclusion I've had 1 million people come through my convenience store for 4 years. And I said, I'm not going to lie to you like I'm not lying to you now, but I didn't lie then. I said, not one of my customers came in and said that my sign is too high. I've never had one complaint. And I said, I've got all these other business owners here. Is anybody here who make believe you were them? I said, anybody here ever had anybody complain about your sign? And they all said, no, never, never. So what happened was I proposed that we grandfather us in because our signs are already up. And they did. That's the last time I was here. So here I'm here again. I'm not sure if I'm should be standing here, as I said to you, or go over here and beat my head up against the wall. I would hope that I'm going to get better satisfaction in talking to you as a group and maybe feel our pain. Okay. It is painful, guys. It is painful to be in business 54 years and say, oh man, did I make the mortgage this month? It's painful. So our best time is during the summer for the hotel business. Wintertime, it's just for the restaurant. We're kind of steady throughout the year, but in our heyday, we used to do 5 weddings a weekend. We used to do probably 40, 50 weddings a year. Now we're doing about 15, 16 weddings. I mean, that's how much it's changed for us. So I don't know if people are aware that, but you see closings all the time of restaurants and hotels. And I'm not behind in my occupancy tax. I keep that up. I pay my bills before I pay myself. There's hotels in this town that owe hundreds of thousands to the occupancy tax, the county tax. And we pay the town to it a 2% occupancy tax, which is, it costs me about 40 grand a year to do that. 40 grand that I have to save for. I just don't have that, but I pay it. You check my bills, I pay it. So, anybody have any questions? Anything you want to ask me?
Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you, Al, very much for coming and presenting tonight.
Thanks for listening to
Absolutely.
my spiel here.
And I promise you, we would definitely keep your concerns in mind as we prepare the budget for next year.
Well, and something I said to you the other day, no, actually it was to the police chief, because I met with the police chief. We don't have the kind of business that I can say to Danny, our tax went up 13,000, you gotta go up a dollar, $1.50 on a hamburger and everything else. He says, Danny, we've already lost business because we're charging 15, 16, what are we charging for hamburger?
I think a burger and fries, a cheeseburger and fries get like $16.50.
We're charging $16.50, okay? We're not charging $16.50 because we want to get rich. We're charging $6.50 because that's what we need to charge to pay our bills. We used to have people come in every day for lunch. They don't now. They may come in once, twice. They can't afford $25 a day for lunch. So now if my taxes go up, what do I do now? I can't go up my prices anymore. They're at the limit. There's a breaking point. And when we get past that breaking point, we're out of business. We get past that point where people say, I'm not going to go out to lunch anymore. We're out of business. I mean, I hope you don't want to be part of that. If we go out of business, the town is partially
Bad for the town too.
no, but you're also partially to blame for it too. Yeah, do you want to say?
I do. I'd just like to say that I know outside of car dealerships, restaurants and bars are the collector. They collect the most sales tax than any other business in the area or in New York State. And along with our taxes going up every year, we have to increase our minimum wage goes up every year. We also have to pay for the fire inspections that they do twice a year. That goes along with the taxes that they went up on our fire department tax. So I mean, every year it's a little bit more, another chunk out of you, another chunk out of you. It's honestly absurd. And we have no representation in the town because we can't vote. We can't vote in the town to do it. So we have zero representation and we just get told that you better pay it. You better pay it.
Yeah.
Along with pay all of our employees a good wage. You know, if you don't pay them enough, everybody looks at you, pay your employees more. Well, you can only pay them what you can afford to pay them. I'd love to pay my employees more, but I can't. They look at me and say, Dan, why can't you give me a raise? Well, our taxes went up $13,000.
There's your raise.
Yeah. Yeah, call the town.
No, it's a fine line in our line that at the end of the year, we look at it and say, wow, we took in this much money and we didn't make any profit. We make some profit. We don't lose money, but you don't think that, I hope you don't think that we're making millions because we're not. It's very tough. It's difficult and we're not alone.
And if you show a profit, you gotta pay tax on that. So you get taxed everywhere down the line. They're just getting taxed and taxed and taxed. There's no break. There's nothing. It's just, you pay your taxes and then you die. That's it.
I'll tell you one thing that's always bugged me, guys. We have employees, now for 54 years. And I have to take out their taxes and what they pay. And I have to pay an accountant to do that. I have to send the taxes into the government, the federal and the state. And I get nothing for it. And it's not just me, it's all businesses. We get nothing for it. We're tax collectors for the government and we get nothing for it. But if we make a mistake, penalty and interest we got to pay. If we make a mistake on money, we didn't make anything on it. But God forbid we make a mistake. Penalty and interest.
Thank you very much for coming. Appreciate it. Is there anyone else to speak tonight? Okay, seeing none, if you'll rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation
Under God.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll.
Supervisor Rectichelle,
Here.
Counselors Alex,
Here.
Chiarenza,
Here.
Gupta, Mannion,
Here.
Stevenson. Here. And Cleveland is absent.
Okay. We will begin our agenda tonight with the presentation of the 2025 Recreation Annual Report.
It was supposed to move me to the bottom.
Here.
Does everyone have a copy of it? Pass them out.
Yep, I got
You got one? Here, take it. Pass them if anyone doesn't.
Do you want time?
What?
Do you want time?
Oh, you don't have to say it.
You're free to go.
Let's just do it and do it now.
Let
Yeah.
Al go until you came back, I figured.
I know, I was like, keep talking. So good evening. I'm here tonight to share the 2025 Recreation Annual Report. I'm going to focus on participation, finances, accomplishment, and what's ahead for us in Recreation Department 2026. This year, the Recreation Department offered over 20 programs, providing programming to residents, including youth sports, art, and STEM camps. Our AM and PM program, 25 students attended PIA, which is our People in Action program at Springfield Garden Apartments. That is the most students that we can have in the building that we're in. And most of those students have been coming to PIA for, most of them start in kindergarten and go all the way through their years through 7th or 8th grade with us.
The tutoring program?
Yes.
Or the whole thing?
The tutoring program, just
25
25 is the
is
max
the
that we
most.
can take in that building.
And it's because of space?
Yes. We had 25 students attend that, approximately 10 different adult and senior programs offered this year. We had approximately 270 campers in summer camp this year. Our recreation leader, Gianna Torres, created a new program for that called the Mentor in Training. It gives campers that would normally age out of that program in grades 7 through 9 the ability to stay in there and create programming for the little kids. They were able to build leadership skills by participating in an interview process to get into the mentor and training program, even though we would still let them in if they didn't do well in the interview, but they all did great. It was amazing to see them, what they said during their interview. They created activities for younger campers and were able to teach them. They created a community project food drive for a nonprofit organization and developed soft skills that they can use in the future for school and for employment. Eventually, our goal for that is to be able to hire these kids, who most of them have been in our program since they were in the younger elementary age. They started with us and are still with us. We also saw an increase of $21,000 in registration over 2024, resulting in a 15% increase from 2024 to 2025. Over 12 events brought the community together this year, including our farmers market, summer concert, Pride and Juneteenth, father, daughter, mother, son. Our biggest attended event was Trunk or Treat with 35 vendors, area businesses, organizations, and residents handing out treats to over 1,000 people in attendance. We also ended the year with our tree lighting, letters to Santa, and pet photo with Santa, utilizing the cute little house that the park staff made, raising over $300 in donations to Second Chance Animal Rescue right here in the town of DeWitt. The farmers market had 14 full season vendors and 13 half season. We were able to distribute 87 $5 farmers market nutrition program booklets through the Onondaga County Department of Aging. Over $500 in Fresh Connect coupons through SNAP and EBT were redeemed at our market, doubling the benefits for SNAP and EBT users with that program. We were able to secure a grant for $8,000 from the Onondaga County Department of Aging to acquire new tables, chairs, and a sound system to use once the Janesville Fire Department community room, I guess the community room, remodel is complete. We also were able to replace 6 tables in the community room that were broken, make sure that our seniors were safe. Our Trinity Fellowship Senior Program, which is mainly a watercolor and drawing program, saw its highest enrollment of 36 registrants, which is up 6 over last year. We have an art instructor who provides instruction each week and ends the program with an art show at the DeWitt Community Library. It's a great group of seniors with amazing talent, and I always joke with them that that's what I'm going to do when I retire from here. Can't wait. Another highlight with the turkey giveaway, and it was the turkey giveaway in conjunction with the Onondaga County Department of Aging. We were able to partner with them to give out 30 frozen turkeys to our senior residents at our Peace Luncheon program. And also we were able to donate 12 to Springfield Gardens for their food pantry. They had a wait list, so they were very excited to get those. Another highlight for us is we look closely at all our programs to see what made the most sense for our residents and how we could make them better. One of the programs that we focused on was our AM and PM recreation. We want to provide a safe and welcoming environment and more meaningful connections with students. We started by changing the name to the program to BASE, Before and After Care Enrichment. We implemented safety measures to ensure the site was safe for our campers and employees. We hired a new site supervisor, Olga Glover. She's in the audience tonight, who's also our summer day camp supervisor, and she provides a familiar face and consistency to our students and parents. We also added more structured activities and scheduling to include a daily rotation of STEM chess club, and arts and crafts, indoor and outdoor play. Staff was retrained to make policies and procedures, that policies and procedures were implemented and followed. And we've had several parents compliment the changes in that program. Our PIA program, run by recreation leader Natalia Quiones Franco, who is also here tonight, for the last 3 years has been consistently at 25 students. These students receive tutoring and homework support along with a safe place to go after school. We're also able to partner with Lemoyne College to hire students through our work study program, saving us a significant cost in payroll. We are hindered by space that needs repair, and the fact that we share it with the leasing company is, something that we need to address. The next thing I'd like to discuss is Canal Day. Well, I know that Canal Day has been a DeWitt community event for many years. The past 3 years that I've been here, it has not been well attended. We've looked at different ways of bringing people in, and we just can't get it moving. So I would like to propose a change this year. In conjunction with the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, we'd like to hold a family fun evening at Carrier Park on July 1st. It would be family friendly. We would have stuff for the kids, band, food, and end the evening with fireworks.
What day of the week is July 1st?
It's a Wednesday, which also would be in conjunction with our market. Our market is going to be run on Wednesdays. So the market would be taking place while this is going on, bringing people in for that and for the celebration.
And also part of the Wednesday concert series.
And the concert series, we would have a band as well that night.
It is in the morning, right?
The market, we actually are changing the market a little bit this year. We're moving it back to Carrier, first of all. And the vendor seems happy with that. It was actually a request from some of them. Market is going to run 2 to 6 instead of 12 to 6. We felt that it was just too long for them to sit there all day. 2 to 6 still gives them after work. People still can walk over from the developments across the street. And with things going on at Carrier Park, there should be more people and more activities to support the market and other things that we want to run over there.
Where will you do this 250th anniversary? Are
July
you
1st.
Carrier Park or you?
At Carrier Park,
At Carrier Park?
yes. So I wanted to bring that to the board to see what everybody's thoughts are on that. Facilities, rentals were pretty much the same as in 2024, except the pavilion at Carrier Park, because we did shut that down due to construction last year, where we were not able to take reservations, but we have opened it back up already for 2026, and we do have not a lot, but they're starting to trickle in. So hopefully we'll get more revenue out of that this year as well.
Will you have parking there at that time?
Is there what?
Parking, because I mean, when you look at the trunk or treat, there were so many people. That it was hard to find parking. So when people get excited, and I think there'll be a lot of hype will be around that thing, and there will be advertisement. So we should be able to have parking around, I think.
At Carrier Park.
Yeah, or
Yes.
somewhere surrounding so people can park in.
Well, the idea is that we have obtained land from Carrier Park, and we are going to be making that a parking lot before, hopefully.
See.
You're giving me some anxiety right I don't think before July 1st. As soon as possible. But yeah,
It's in the works.
we'll figure out the parking situation if there are other things that
Yes.
we'll work with what we have. There is a large parking lot there. at
There
Carrier.
is a large parking lot. I mean, if we had to, we could bring buses in from either East Syracuse or JD to move people back and forth to a different location for parking.
Carrier is walkable.
And a lot of people will walk.
People.
Yep. And we do see that with the market and other things and other events that we've ran over there. Yep. So looking ahead to 2026, we are opening the Carrier Park new Superfield May 1st. Everybody's invited. You should have got your invites already. We're,
We did that.
it's coming. They just announced it, so it should be, they should be out. The Recreation Department is looking forward to working closely with Salt City Sports to develop new programming. For 2026 this year, we already have a sports camp that we're working on. As of the last look this afternoon, we had 40 kids signed up for the last week. So we are seeing people are taking advantage of that. And we're gonna work with Dickie and Jim to see what other things that we can provide over there too. I would like to reinstate the Recreation Commission this year. I think it's important to have a board of community people to help us with some of the decision making and moving forward with some of the things that we would like to do. So that is one thing that is on my list of goals for this year. We're going to continue to look for increasing revenue, adding new programs, continue to look at some of our programs and what we can change to do better. Look for outside like grants and different forms of revenue to keep making a little bit of money on the side. Continue to create new programming focusing on adults and seniors. That's one area that I really want to focus on. We have 3 great programs, but I like to have one big one. And hopefully with the addition of Jamesville Community Center, as soon as we can find a way to get that remodeled, that would be a nice addition to our programming. And then on the back, we have our revenue and expenses. Some of the numbers, it does say budget numbers are based on unaudited figures. It's not the budget. These are the numbers. Carrie doesn't have everything in, so these may not look exactly right. She's still working on that. So with that, I'd like to thank you all for your support over the year, and I look forward to a prosperous 2026 and open it up to any questions.
Anybody have any questions for Sandy?
Sandy, I think you guys do a great job. Maybe Controller Fusco, your revenue doesn't add up.
Yep.
On this, I'm just trying to. You know that. So it probably just needs to be corrected, Sandy. I meant to call you on it and I never got around to it.
We looked at it a little bit.
Yeah, she just forgot to add the facilities.
The facilities wasn't added into there.
Yeah.
And then also with the facilities and the expenses.
Well, the expenses add up, the revenue only adds up to 404, so I'm just trying to figure out where the other 64,000 is.
Yeah, it's only 3,000.
I mean, no doubt you guys do a great job, Sandy. Every year I'm amazed at the volume of programs you have and the volume of people you have coming through. I don't know how you do it.
Thank you.
Is events under revenue the correct number? It went from 1977 to 20,000.
Yeah, that one could be it. I'll have to look at the
Maybe
numbers.
there's 19,000.
70, yes.
Is the 468 from Barry Fusco? Did you have that
No.
number in the budget?
I mean,
No?
it's the 468 is the, I think are you using rec desk numbers?
No.
Oh.
That was on here.
So anyhow, I mean, at this point, not crucial, but let's just straighten it out and
Yeah.
send out the presentation.
I can send it out. I can send out updated.
Someone does look at it, it matches.
Yep,
But no, great job.
thank you.
Yeah, you do. And then as we talked about some of those areas where
Yep.
we were going to do, so.
Yeah.
Don't have-
One of the other things I want to do too is get back with a newsletter and get more marketing out there so people are more aware of our events. So we're working on that right now too, building the 2026 brochure for spring and summer.
We're planning a senior event or something?
We are going to be doing a health fair
Yeah.
here on April 22nd for seniors. So we're in the process of planning that as well right now, trying to get people to come in with different organizations to be here.
Feel free to include me in that.
I will, thank you.
Doug, you can We can go.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the presentation. Okay, our next item on the agenda, authorization to hire a part-time person in the water department. Rocco?
Sure. Robin, you might want to help with this one too. So we have a candidate, Mary Kate Ross, for part-time help in the water department. Many tasks, the lead service inventory line, the backflow prevention program that we started a few years back, public outreach, our meter program, once version 10 with Encode, I believe in another week or two will be up and running. So we will have probably the need for assistance with scheduling appointments for meter change outs. So hopefully if people have problems at home, this staff member will be able to help set that appointment up online, which it's, once you learn how to do it, it is actually pretty quick online. So correct, Robin? Any
Yep.
feedback on that?
People are calling us instead of going through the online scheduler or the email or the phone number on the letter, so they would prefer for us to handle the appointments and schedule it for them.
I had a nice conversation with Jeff Miller at Aqua, who she had a lot of years in and retired out of there. Nothing but good things to say about her. Work ethic is very good. But we'd like to bring her in at $20 an hour with a start date of February 10th. Approximately 18 hours with a max of 20 hours a week. We do have the money in the budget 2026 for a seasonal employee. Did anybody have any questions on Mary Kate?
What is the title? What title is she coming in?
Information aid.
Thank you.
So she's a seasonal aide.
Season, yep, which is a non-competitive position.
Right. So how long she will be?
Probably at least 6 months, right? Depending, Robin.
What the need is.
We'd like to get through the beater program as fast as possible. I mean, it could be up to a year, but I mean, we're hoping 6 to 9 months, maybe we can get the bulk of these meters scheduled and then.
Yeah, I didn't hear the question. Did you ask?
Oh, how long? I mean, seasonal aid is like, 6
Yeah,
months.
so, I mean, as long as we need her, but is that what you asked, how long we would need her? Yeah, as long as we need her, I don't know how long the meter program is gonna go on for. It depends on people's compliance with installs and stuff like that.
Are there any other questions? All right, do I have a motion to authorize the hire? From Bernard, a second from Indu. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, next authorization to hire a laborer in the water department.
So we have a position in the department. This is the labor position, another non-competitive position. We have a candidate out of Colorado who is working in the water industry there currently. It's actually one of the only candidate we've had in a while with actually water experience that we can bring in that we're not training from, basically with no skills at all. So he does have some licenses out there. Probably our guess is he's going to have to work in our system for at least a year and then probably sit down with our health department and hopefully we can get him transferred to a 2B operator, which would allow him to inject chlorine into our system. With his credentials that he has now and hopefully a year in our system, he could get that license, which we desperately need. And all of our operators, we would like to have be licensed, and the health department has requested that of us, which I think is a good idea, that they all be operators trained with chlorine injection and everything. So, Robin has been working with him online. We did one interview and she did 2 on her own we had Kathleen in there. Robin, do you want to add anything else about Ben?
Oh, I just wanna say that, like you said, we've never had anybody apply that's had water experience before, so it's another person that we're gonna have to not spend as much time training, and he's gonna basically just have to learn our system before he can get his licenses.
Is the intention that once he was licensed here to promote him up to a water maintenance worker? One.
Yeah, one.
Yeah.
Correct. Yep. Which we put in the contract this year for that reason.
Okay.
So the only question that I have possibly
Robin, I know he's looking for housing here, and if we can get approval tonight, would it be maybe a beginning of March?
Yeah, so he's waiting for approval and then he's gonna be signing a lease hopefully tomorrow for an apartment. To come here, I think for March 1st, so hopefully the beginning of March, he will start.
Sure, what we want to do for a start date. I mean, I'm looking, March 2nd is a Monday. I mean, we could probably amend it. It's up to the board, I guess.
Well, I think we can say March 2nd, but, or any date after that, that he, fills out the
Gets
paperwork
established here. And
would be his start date.
is everybody comfortable with that?
Yeah. Is he from this area?
No, Colorado. I think he was looking between Buffalo and New Jersey, Robin. He wants to read.
See?
Yeah.
And I think his partner's from, Buffalo, I think. So this is kind of like in between for both of them.
His resume is impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great to have somebody with water experience, even if they don't technically have the New York licenses yet. Yes.
So he needs to wait for a year to get the New York
They
license?
want him acclimated in our system for a year, and then they will sit down with. That's what
So
they,
is that the state health
county.
or the county?
Yeah.
So then, I didn't know you guys do inject.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Yeah.
that's what the job.
Yeah, we
of
have
the county.
3 sites that we do that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
He's a rugby coach too.
So you do credentialing for him, his background and everything?
Yeah.
All right, any other questions?
So he's not.
Do I have a motion to hire the water laborer? From Joey, a second from Patricia. All those in favor?
Hi.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. The next thing on the agenda, the Thruway Authority is updating their radio systems all along the Thruway. One of the towers that they are changing out their antenna is in the town of DeWitt. It's basically at the Carrier Circle exit to the Thruway.
Tarbell Road.
And so they are just seeking our board's approval to accept them as the lead agency for the seeker. We reviewed the project. They're not doing anything other than just changing the antenna that's on the already installed pole. They're not making any changes to the pole. So there really is no issue here, but it needs board approval. So does anybody have any questions on that?
Question?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
No, absolutely.
It is such a long thing. I was looking, I
Mm.
tried to figure it out. I said, where is it? And the form, do you have to fill out that form thing? There's a huge, humongous, like multiple pages, yes, no. And
Yeah, that's the seeker, that we're, by us approving it is basically saying that we're designating the State Thruway Authority as the agency responsible for filling out that form. So we don't need to do it. I did review it. It did match pretty much, what I could see as being accurate. With there being basically no change here in DeWitt from our perspective, it's,
Yeah, I learned
it's a
from
non.
All those questions just pointing to either there's environmental impact or there's not.
Yeah,
So,
right,
case,
right.
Nothing's really changing,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
a
that was
long
the
way
basic-
of saying nothing's gonna happen.
I did notice one thing that I did send back to them that they did have wrong in the seeker was the school district. I think for whatever reason, they listed the school district for our poll as City of Syracuse. So I just told them it has to be East Syracuse.
Yes.
Yep. So, any other questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve? From Carrie, a second. From Bernard. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Okay, Jamesville Community Center. There is a set of change orders that was in the packet. I included for the new people on the board all of the change orders that came through for this project. We've already approved 1 and 2. This is just change order 3 that we need to approve tonight. All of this work has already happened. Some of it was exigent in that they tore off the roof and needed to replace the underlayment before they could put a new roof on because it had holes in it. That's not the kind of change order that we're going to stop construction and wait until the board can approve. I would, we'll work out the policies in place so that most likely I'm reviewing those as they come up on construction projects in the future, and then can approve them until we can notify the board and get final board approval. There are a couple in here I would have liked to have seen come to the board before. Extending the stone is kind of a cosmetic choice that, you know, I think they could have waited on that one. But this all happened last year still. So there are changes that we will be going forward with policy to make sure that the board really is evaluating any change orders before they happen. But this is one set, this project, the exterior, other than a punch list, is basically complete, right, Doug?
Right.
Okay. So we are here in front of us tonight to approve that last set of change orders. Doug is here in case anybody has any questions before approval. Okay.
I just want to clarify. So this work has already happened.
So as Max said, change order 1 was approved in August of last year. Change order 2 was also approved in August of last year, all before any of the work was completed.
Right. So change order 2 is like there are multiple prices there. So I don't know what we are approving. I'm just trying to.
The last one,
So change order
there were
3.
3 change orders.
Yeah.
So you're talking 17,000?
It's the last one.
Change order 2 was approved for $17,744 on August 11th.
No, it's the change.
Yeah, so how much was the total for change order 3?
It's like 30.
The total for change order 3 is $37,033.
Where is
That's what
it?
you're looking at.
I'm just trying to see where.
And as Max said, the first 2 modifications in change order 3
So
on the December 10th correspondence from Smith Structures. Was
December 10,
This one, right?
36,000. Is that what you're?
37,033.
So it should be the page
December
before
10th.
that one.
So before that, all of them being paid? So are we
Yeah,
looking for
yes.
only this one? 36,000? This one?
So the page before that, there's the page before that has the actual change order sheet on it that has the 37,033. Those in the packet.
There's so many
Know what Doug has.
pages where it gets so confusing. What?
Doug, it's the actual change order. You want me to just pull over mine?
it's this. That's the actual,
Yeah, so that's what I looked first. So where is 36? This is the one, right?
yes,
No.
37,000.
Which page is it?
Change order number 3
Number 3.
on the header.
Page 60.
Page what?
Page 60.
Remember there were 99.
Yeah, I know, 60, page 60, okay, so 60 is. This is here,
There
okay,
you go. 30.
so what are we approving? So original contract price is 690,000, plus change. 51,000 is increase, we're not approving that.
No, you're,
Contract price from the change order is 740, and then increase this change is 37.
yes, 37,030.
So all the work has been done already,
Yes. In the detailed breakdown, like Max was saying,
yeah.
The December 10th correspondence, the plumbing and roof drains were approved by the board on September 8th.
Okay.
And the removal of the resisting roof materials, there were holes in the roof when they were taken off,
Right.
and those were approved on September 30th. Items 3, 4, 5, and 6, one is a credit of $4,000.
Okay.
So items 3, 4, and 5 were actually claims submitted by the contractor after the work was done. And to Max's point, the discussion I had with the contractor was, this really isn't legit, so we negotiated this down. And Max and I have been in discussion, we have not paid this yet,
Right,
but the costs look to be reasonable. The work was done well. The contractor was actually a pretty good contractor. So our recommendation would be to pay these, but to Max's point, we endeavor to get the approvals before the board. So we're being proactive and not reactive.
Right. Which is, I think, moving forward. I think for the emergency, that's a different situation. There
Yes.
has to be some policy about the emergency, but then otherwise, that should
Yeah.
improve.
The conversation here was that the conversation was not had with this contractor at the beginning of the project of very clearly do not do extra work because we're not going to pay you unless it's
Right.
approved beforehand. And so because they did actually do the work, it does seem appropriate. We negotiated with them on the price a little bit. I don't want to turn around and try and say, well, even though you did it, we're not going to pay you.
Yeah, no, that's not the point. But moving forward, I mean, if it's written in a contract, unless it's an emergency that
Yep.
you cannot hold the board meeting in that situation, there's certain things.
We are going to hold them to it
Yeah.
in the future, yes.
Great, thank you.
And in general, right, the entire project, it's completed. The changes were about 12%, which is pretty decent as far as an industry, right? I mean, and the building is a building that was built in like 1958. So when we got into it, some of the larger changes were unforeseen conditions, which we took the siding off, and then the furring strips behind the siding were rotten. So nobody knew that was there. Just like Max said, the roof, we took that off. There was a hole in the roof. The parapet walls on the top, once we took the roof off, then we had to go back and fill that in. So, with an older rehab on a building,
Right.
10 or 12% is probably a pretty decent number.
I mean, it's all seems very logical that the things would be done needed. The thing is communication has to be better. Great, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes, Bernard.
Just for my own FYI, what are furrings and fittings?
The furring strips, they go on the masonry wall, and they're like, they're like the thickness of like a yardstick. Right, and you tack them on the wall, and then you can take your siding and nail it to the furring strips, right? So furring strips and the fittings that go with the connection to the siding.
So the disposal or taking down is what did they say? Disposal thing. Once the ovens come down.
Yeah. So what we had anticipated, Bernard, was we were going to take the siding off, and we're going to reuse those same furring strips. When they came off, the moisture behind them haven't been there for 60 or 70 years. It just wasn't doable to use them, so they had to take it down, out, and get rid of them. Okay, thank you. Yep.
Anything else?
No real fur burner. I did busy.
Do I have a motion to approve? Patricia, a second from Joey. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, Comptroller Fusco.
So I am working on closing out 2025 and reconciling all of the funds. And one of the major funds is our capital projects. So I'm working on transferring funds from general fund to cover some of these projects. Carrier Park Phase 3. I'm requesting a transfer from general fund to capital projects for $1,571,719.24. The town originally budgeted to transfer 2.2 million from general fund. That's the hotel tax that we've collected over 2024 and 2025. Or that was our projected amount. Year to date, we have collected $2,264,061 for $61.30. So that 1.5 will be the first transfer. When we finish the project in 2026, I'll come for the second transfer. But that is money in fund balance sitting there from the hotel tax that we collected. The second request is for the Jamesville Community Center. That project came, as we just discussed, came in over budget. We originally had a grant with New York State DASNY for 500,000 and 196,500 from Onondaga County through the Main Street grant. The original bid covered was equal to that amount, so for those change orders, we need to transfer $128,602.41 from general fund, and that will just come out of the fund balance. And then the third request is for Butternut Creek Boardwalk. This project was originally approved by the board to use general fund balance to cover the remaining amount of 62,700. Got a grant for 200,000, so we've been reimbursed by the state for that, so.
Will you get some pay, some reimbursement for it? That's a bit or not?
I'm sorry, what?
What you're asking to transfer, the 60-some thousand for the boardwalk,
The 62,000 is from general fund.
from general fund?
Yeah, we've already been reimbursed by the state for 200,000.
Oh,
We have excess of 62,700. That's it.
where is that?
Hmm?
Location, where?
It's Butternut Creek, that way.
Down there somewhere.
So between Kinney and Wagnons, there is a boardwalk trail that goes, through the swamp.
Little dog park.
Your bug spray, you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, I get it.
is it 2/3 or a third finished?
2/3.
Thirds, yeah. All right. Are there any other questions on the transfers?
Disney in the county, the Davis, Disney in the county,
For which one? For the Janesville?
Janesville community.
Yes, we've been fully reimbursed for both.
Nice job.
Good.
That's great.
I thought that, so you're asking to transfer from the general fund?
They fully reimbursed us the grant money that they promised. We went beyond that grant money in costs, so that's the transfer.
Yeah, inside, right? I think this is for the.
No, this is still just for the outside. So we had the $700,000 and we were aggressive in our project scope in that we wanted to use all of that $700,000. So we made sure basically the project that we proposed was that entire cost, knowing that it might go over that because we were at the end of using that DASNY grant, right? Or the county?
The county, we had a little bit more, but the board authorized transferring some of that over to the Jamesville Fire pole barn.
Yeah.
So.
And so we wanted to make sure that it was all used. And so we knew it might go a little bit over, and it did, as projects of that size often do, on a building that old.
And essentially, for 128,000, we got 825,000 value work.
Yes.
Because of the grants that.
But still, this is for the outside.
This is for the outside, and hopefully we'll be able to find more grants for the inside, and we'll have a functional community center for the Jamesville area.
It looks good. I mean,
The outside is beautiful. We just need to get the inside. Yeah.
It really cleans up that section.
Yeah.
Janesville, really.
But we are already starting on talking about plans for the inside, and we're going to be putting together a task force to work on what the interior design is going to be and costs, and then funding.
I mean, my biggest concern as when you start dipping into general fund all the time, that becomes a concern for the.
Absolutely.
The carrier park thing, leftover thing, and then other things come, so how can we replenish that also, right? So those are the things which we will have to be very mindful of.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, do I have a motion to approve the transfer? From Carrie, a second. From Bernard. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, we have two sets of board minutes. We'll start with the minutes for the organizational meeting on January 5th. Are there any corrections that are needed? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the organizational meeting minutes? Patricia, second from Indu. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, the minutes from the next meeting, January 12th, 2026. Any corrections? Okay, do I have a motion to approve those? Patricia, second from Carrie. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, at the organizational meeting, we approved one person attending the annual conference of the New York Association of Towns. That was intended to be me, and I am already registered and plan to attend. Indu went to the new board member training last week and has expressed an interest in attending the annual conference in New York City as well. She would not need a hotel. So basically, we're just looking for approval for the conference fee and train ticket down. Are there any questions or?
I'll bring all the information and share with the board.
Your mom.
That's my intent.
Yep.
For the other one too, I'm organizing.
What's the
It's a
conference
great
fee?
conference. Which I mentioned.
Do you remember the conference, how much the conference fee is?
I think it was 100, so I'll get $100 for the fee.
I think it,
$585
No, no, no.
City.
Yeah, for the New York City one. No, it's not 500. They told me.
well,
Because I went to
Gotta
this
be
conference, there's a discount. No,
there is a discount because of attending that. Yeah.
I have papers, thanks.
It might actually only be $100 more because she went to the training.
Oh.
Yeah,
Sounds like a bargain.
yeah,
Yeah, no.
yeah. So, and yeah,
Is that what you want to do the motion for $100 for the registration or
I
just?
don't know
put
how much rate,
registration?
I can't.
Just do it for the registration fee for the AOT, just for registration.
It'll be less than the original.
Transportation and no hotel accommodation. Okay. And also, do you want to include the, oh, she's taking the train, so she doesn't need the IRS per diem. And what about food? I don't think that you guys included that. in the-
we did not include food. So, are you good with just the conference and the train? Okay, works for me too. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve from Bernard, a second from Joey? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay.
Okay, we have the check register from January 6th and January 20th. Do we do these as a group or it's individually?
Do them either way.
Let's do-
I've got them
I would
separately
do them separate.
today, but we have always done them together. And they're, I mean, you're just accepting them, so
Yeah,
technically they can, but I have them as motions. So,
Yes, to put, well, the last few times I put them all in one line.
yeah.
I wasn't sure if I was gonna get the time, so that's why I thought separate. but-
okay.
Let's do them separate this time.
Separate so there was, as you can see, for those of you that were on the board last year, a new format to these through ERP Pro 10. But I think this is, Carrie and I worked on it. We think this is the best format that kind of gives the information in a readable format.
Yeah,
But
I liked it. I thought it was good.
I was gonna say, I like.
Great. Are there any questions on the January 6th check register? No. Okay, do I have a motion to accept? From Bernard, second from Carrie. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Any questions on the one for January 20th? Okay, I'll take a motion to accept. from Carrie, a second from Joey. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, town board updates. Anybody have anything to share?
I can talk about the.
Now would be a perfect time to talk about the
All
train.
right, so I went to this meeting for 3 days, 2.5 days in Corning, New York, and it was about the roles and responsibility of newly elected town board members and supervisors and the highway superintendent. There was a large number of people were there. So I had people from Skinny Atlas, from Camillus and Cicero. So we kind of, and there was other people, and a lot of those from the New York State Comptroller's Office and as well as from the New York Association of Towns, NIOT, whatever the short.
They're new, yes, whatever they're calling it.
But they did a great job of their educating and then putting everything in perspective. That what are the roles and responsibility, how we should be responsive to the public by being, much more open and transparent, and what are the tools we have. So I learned a lot those things, and so I'll be happy to share to all of you what I have. There was a PowerPoint presentation, and there also you can see a lot of things. Actually, they get recorded, so some of them will be in the Comptroller's Office website. Some of those things. So we all need refresher, no matter if you are there for a long time. We all learn new things. So that's my big plug for everybody to make sure that you review those things. It's really good. And then we can be support to each other in governing in a much better way and be one of the best town boards.
Great, well.
So I'll send the email. I think I can send the PowerPoints and the email, or I don't know if they're a shared drive. I think I can talk to somebody from IT tech so it won't clutter people's emails. Like in OneDrive or something, I'm not sure.
We can figure it out, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a good information, why not share it?
Great.
And New York one is also supposed to be, it has a lot of agenda. I think one of the agendas was for the comprehensive planning thing. That was one of those things which we were going to talk, and some things about the bonds and some of the vision for the community. Like there is a good, and the speakers were fantastic.
I just wanted to say a quick word. Thankfully, the water conservation order has been lifted. We seem to be doing fairly well now. I wanted to thank the community for their cooperation during the entire time when water supply was limited. I also wanted to give a special thanks to our water department for all of the hard work that they did in cooperation with Aqua to make sure that not only our residents had water, but to help the broader community to the east, and even including Madison County, did not run out of water as well. So thank you for all of your hard work during that time.
And thank you, Rocco, for the snowstorm.
Yeah. Okay, if there are no other updates, then we have our executive session agenda to come. Do I have a motion to enter executive session? From Indu, a second from Patricia. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we will move into executive session. Thank you.
Bathroom.